Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to an evening edition of Cooking in the Kitchen with Bree. We are almost upon the Thanksgiving season, y'all. We are here. Thanksgiving is next week. Can you believe it? I cannot believe it. We are here. Oh, my goodness. And when I think about it, I can't help but to think that I have been doing this for almost 1 year. That's right. 1 year coming up on Thanksgiving Day. It will be 1 year that Cooking in the Kitchen with Bree got started, and I'm super duper excited. And I know this is a different time for everyone, but figured we try 6 p.m. because I had a few other things going on earlier today. But nonetheless, we are going to jump right in. If you are in the kitchen with me, just shout out. Let me know that you are in the kitchen, and I will give you a shout out because you know how I like to do. I like to shout everybody out and say hello to everyone. I'm just so thrilled and excited that you decided to come into the kitchen and cook with me on today. So, what are we cooking in the kitchen? Well, I'm going to share with you what we're cooking. It is one of my favorite Thanksgiving sweet treats, and I've been doing this for a while now. I used to be a stay-at-home mom, and I learned this recipe through some friends of mine, my sister friends, and it's none other than my favorite pumpkin bread. So I named it for this segment, Bree's Thanksgiving Pumpkin Bread. That's right, we're going to make some pumpkin bread, and we're doing it from scratch because y'all know I like to do everything from scratch to make it easier, healthier. You get to see what's going into the things that you're making. So today, it's all about the pumpkin bread. And then one of my absolute favorite foods, and everyone who knows me knows that I love sweet potato. So I have to share with you a sweet potato treat that's really simple, super easy to make, and really delicious on your palate. Hello, Miss Myrtle. Happy Thanksgiving to you. It is so good to have you in the kitchen this evening. Woo-hoo. Shout out to you. Well, we're going to go ahead and kick it off. I always like to kick off my show with a little bit of music. Y'all know how I do. So let's go ahead and get some music going, and you can jam with me, sing with me. If you know this song, you should by now because I sing it every segment. Let's go. Let's get it. We are cooking in the kitchen with Bree. Cooking in the kitchen with Bree. Come on in my kitchen and cook with me. Cooking in the kitchen with Bree. Y'all ready to cook? Well, come on in the kitchen. Let's go. Cooking in the kitchen. Woo! You know, you always got to have like an intro because I love music. For those who know me, I do love music. And so I cannot be in the kitchen without having some music to get it going. All right. All right. So you love sweet potato dishes, Miss Myrtle? I do too. So we are sisters through and through and heart to heart. I have a whole dish over here of pumpkins that not pumpkins, sweet potato I have baked up already so that we can get into the Thanksgiving holiday. But I do have a pumpkin bread recipe that I definitely think you and anyone else watching would truly love. And so we are going to jump right into this amazing pumpkin bread, Bree's Thanksgiving pumpkin bread. So what do we need to do? Let me share with you a few things. Pumpkin, let me share with you how easy this is. I'm going to grab my pumpkin here. So fresh pumpkin. It's all about fresh pumpkin. What do you do? How do you really get into this pumpkin, Sabrina, in order to make this pumpkin bread? Can't I just go to the store and get a box of pumpkin mix and have a pumpkin bread, just whip up a few items and put it in? You sure can. But I tell you what, there's nothing like having fresh homemade pumpkin bread, and we're going to get into it. So what do you do with this big old thing? Well, I slice it in half, and I've already taken the liberty to do that. I slice it right down the middle, and I'm gonna do it for you so you can see. And then I pull the seeds out, and once I pull the seeds out, y'all, It's super easy. It's not always easy to cut through because pumpkin can be a tough one. It is pretty tough to cut up a pumpkin. And so I'm just going to try and demonstrate this for you so you can see just how easy it is to cut up a pumpkin. Let me grab my big old knife. And we're going to get right into it. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Got a big knife to jump right into this pumpkin. Let me pull my other camera in so that you can see just how easy it is. Here we are. Look at this. So with this pumpkin right here, I tend to just, you see this? And you got to be really careful because pumpkin can be super hard. Look at that. It just sits right into the pumpkin. It can be very hard. So I just slice it right down just like this. And for those who carve pumpkins, you know how easy it is, not really easy, to get into this pumpkin. I'm gonna pull this stem off and so that we can get right into it. Sometimes if it's too hard, I'll just do a bang bang so that we can split it up. But you just want to make sure that you can get into the pumpkin. That's really the most important part. Get your fingers in there and look, here we are. Was able to split it open. And because I've had the pumpkin for a few weeks now, it's a lot more easier to get into. So look at this. You see these pumpkin seeds? Look at that. The very pumpkin seeds that you buy in the store come right out of here, and you can just rake them out. It takes just scraping through, grabbing the pumpkin seeds. These are all pumpkin seeds that I'm going to clean up and put in the oven so that we can roast pumpkins, sprinkle a little bit of salt on top of the seeds, lay them on a baking dish and put them right into the oven. Super, super duper easy. So I just wanted to show you all just how easy it is to get into the pumpkin. All right. And you see, I'm just like trying to pull all the seeds together, round them all up, and then I will put them in a separate dish so that we can get to the meat of this pumpkin. And it's really easy. I don't want to belabor this, but I did want to show you. And I've already taken the liberty to prepare my pumpkin. So I've already cooked some pumpkin, but I wanted to show you just how easy it is to cut the pumpkin. See that? And what do you do with this? You basically, you cut you some pieces of your pumpkin, just like this, not too small, not too big, and you just lay it down on a cooking dish, a baking dish. Let me show you. Just take a regular baking dish, cut up your pumpkin, lay it face down, put it in the oven for about, I normally roast mine for about 45 minutes to an hour. Sometimes it doesn't take that long. It just depends on how tender or how tough the meat of the pumpkin is. And then once you're done, I'm gonna pull this to the side so that we can jump into what we're doing. Pull that right over there. But once you're done baking, get my little seeds, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like after the pumpkin is baked. Once the pumpkin is baked, look, I cut them into these little pieces. Can you see that? Try and, there we go. So this is the pumpkin, roasted. Real super, real easy. And then once it's nice and cooled and you've taken it out of the oven, it comes right off. So nice and so easy. Look at that. Just scoops right off. And that's what I've already done. So I just wanted to make sure that you see just how easy it is to work with pumpkin. Some people don't know how to work with pumpkin, but I'm here to show you and here to tell you that working with pumpkin is easy. Yes. And so I already have a full dish. This is 3 cups of pumpkin, mashed pumpkin in my bowl that we're going to put together in order to make a pumpkin bread. Bree's Thanksgiving pumpkin bread. All right. So you know all about how to prepare it now. Super easy. Look at that. All these little pieces. Then the size of pumpkin that I shared with you, oh, you can make a few pumpkin breads with the pumpkin that I just shared with you. I think that was what size? That was about a 6-pound pumpkin. Not too heavy, not too much, but it'll yield about 6 pumpkin breads. So for each recipe that I'm about to share with you, we can get 2 pumpkin loaves out of this particular mix, 3 cups of pumpkin. All right, so let's put this aside. I'll put that pumpkin aside and we're going to start getting into what it takes. So Miss Myrtle, have you had pumpkin bread before? Let me know if you've had pumpkin bread. What I'm going to do is just pull up my little list of things so I can walk everyone through, and you'll see just how easy it is to get into this pumpkin bread. And it really is delicious. All right, so what do we need? We need 3 cups of pumpkin. We have that. Fresh pumpkin. People can use can if they want to, but I'm all about the fresh. So let's make sure you get some fresh pumpkin, 3 cups. And then you need 3 cups of flour. Simple, easy. And you'll notice there's a lot of 3 and 6 going on. So 3 cups of flour, 3 cups of sugar, 3 cups of pumpkin. The recipe is so easy for you to remember. What's the 6? The 6 is the pumpkin seasoning. So when you think about things, think about increments, 3s and 6s. So 3 cups of pumpkin, 3 cups of flour, 3 cups of sugar, 3 eggs. That's how easy it is. Doesn't require a whole bunch of eggs. 3 eggs, 1 cup of butter. Real simple. Then we'll get into a half a teaspoon of vanilla. We'll get into our pumpkin seasoning. And if you don't have pumpkin seasoning, I don't know if y'all know this, but pumpkin seasoning, it just includes your cloves, your cinnamon, your nutmeg, and a little bit of salt. That's all your pumpkin seasoning is all about, all right? So let's go ahead and get with it. What are we gonna start doing here first? I'm gonna share with you. Well, we're gonna preheat our oven to 350, and my oven is preheated to 350. Real simple, real easy. And then this, I did tell you that we have 2 loaves. This will yield 2 loaves. I've already taken my bread loaf and I coated it with some butter because I love butter, not margarine. You can use margarine, but I love butter. All right, and so we're going to go ahead and jump into this. We're going to mix our flour together. We're going to mix all the spices together. And so you know I already have my flour here, okay? Got my 3 cups of flour. We're going to mix flour. We're going to mix the spices. Now let me go ahead and get into it. I'll show you right quick. I have this amazing organic pumpkin spice. Can you see it? Yep. It's all included. Everything that I shared. We have some cinnamon in here. We have some nutmeg, and we have some, what else did I say? Who can remember? Anybody remember what else I said? Some cloves. I'm just going to try and open this up because we'll be here all day. Trying to, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Because what I really need is 6 teaspoons of this amazing pumpkin flavor. I got my little measuring cups here, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I'm just going to add all that's needed in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you know what? You see me measuring. I'm doing this because most people like to know how much, but I tend to just put in as much as I want because I can. A little bit of this and a little bit of that makes it go a long way. So here we have it, all of our little spices. Have y'all been counting? I haven't been counting, but if you're gonna make it and you need to know what the recipe calls for, 6 teaspoons, y'all, 6 teaspoons of pumpkin seasoning. I probably put about 10 already because I love the seasoning of it. And when you add it to the bread, oh, and when it starts to cook, it starts to smell heavenly. So now I have my spices in here already inside of my flour, okay? And I'm just gonna stir it up a little bit just to mix it in. And then I'm going to add my baking soda. How much baking soda? Just a teaspoon. Here's my handy dandy baking soda. Let's see if you can see that. Yep, just a teaspoon. So I'm going to drop that in like that. All right, we're good. Then after I add my baking soda, I need some baking powder. How much baking powder do we need? We don't need too much, just a half a teaspoon. All right, you see that? Baking powder. Yes. So I'm going to add that to the mix as well. Dump it right on in. Don't be afraid. You know, some people are timid when it comes to cooking. Cooking is not going to bite you. Do not be afraid. Just go ahead and add it all in there, okay? And then we're just going to mix it up just like this. Look. Mix, mix, and mix. Come on now. Just mix it on in. And then there's a half a teaspoon of salt that's required. And my half a teaspoon, I just put it in here just like this in my little hand. Can you see that? just a little bit, just a little hair, and sprinkle it all in, get it all up in it. And then look, we just stir it up a little bit. And then we're going to set that aside because that's going to be the last thing that we put together. All right, let me put this to the side. I'm gonna get my big bowl because we're gonna add the butter. So how much butter? I said a cup of butter. I'm gonna put it in the microwave just for about 10, 20 seconds, just so that it can melt it down, but not fully down. All right, so put it in the mic. I'm just gonna let it start. Do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So somebody tell me, hey, Carol, good to see you. Happy pre-Thanksgiving. All right, so I think the butter is melting down a little bit. Carol, what are you cooking over there? I know you're cooking up something good. All right, my butter is just a little bit melted. Close it up. Look here. See, not fully melted, just a little melted. All right, and that's what I needed to do. Put the butter in the microwave just for about 10, 15 seconds until it's halfway melted. And so now we're just going to add this butter into the dish. All right. And then remember I said 3 cups. Uh-oh, Carol is making jerk chicken. I think I'm going to Florida for Thanksgiving. Is that all right? You got room at the table for me, sis? I'll bring some pumpkin bread if that's all right. All right, so now I just put the butter in this bowl right here, as you can see. And then we're going to go ahead and finish adding the other ingredients. So we have some sugar to add to the mix, right? Butter and sugar in the mix. I'm pouring and stirring, pouring and stirring. It's a super easy recipe and it is so mouth-watering, delicious. You will love it. Love, love, love it. You will be able to make this whenever you are ready to jump on in. So here we go. Mixing this together, super easy. Can you do it by hand? Absolutely. Y'all know back in the day, people didn't have no electric mixers. I know back in my grandmother's day, they had the little turn mixer. Who remembers that? Y'all remember the turn mixer? It was like a long, tall, it looked like what did it look like? Like a tall tower. And it had the 2 little, look at these, the 2 little blending, and you would have to turn it by hand. Chick, 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 chick. You put your hand on top and chick, chick, chick. Y'all remember that? All right, well, you can do it by hand, or I have my handy dandy hand mixer, my KitchenAid mixer here. And I will use that as we get a little further into the recipe. All right. All right. So I just wanted to show you how it's coming together. You see this? The butter and the sugar are blending together nicely. And then we're going to add our eggs. That's simple. That's easy. Pull this. All right. We're going to add the eggs, but I am going to get into this little electric mixer to make it a little easier, and we will whip this thing together in no time at all. Watch this here. All right, let's get with it. Let's see what we got. All right, we're doing it. I'm just going to put it up a little bit, and I'm going to start adding my eggs, 1 egg at a time. All right, let's go, let's go. Let's mix it up. Let's mix it up. In the kitchen, you can mix it in the kitchen with Bree. Let's see, you're doing salad and pineapple ginger mint drink too. Oh my goodness, Carol. I think we are coming to Florida for Thanksgiving. All right, y'all see there, 1 egg. Next, we got 2 eggs. Woo! 1, 2, 3, and you want to do your eggs separately so it has time to blend in. We don't want any type of unmixed product here. So just take your time, blend in your egg 1 at a time. Next, egg number 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right, got that going. Look at that. Woo! We're blending and creaming these ingredients together. And I'm just going to put the speed on medium a little higher until it gets nice and fluffy. You see that? It's not hard at all. We got this. What do y'all think? Who's down for trying it? I need some people who are going to tell me, yes, Bree, I got it. I'm going to try it because I really want to see. My son Elijah called me earlier and told me he was making it. He loves it. I would make this every year for the family, and I think I would make like 4 loaves, and we would get to it. We would get all up in it. As soon as it would come out the oven, y'all, we'd slap some butter on there, and we eating and slicing and eating. Woo! Some kind of good. All right, it's looking good. You see how easy this is? It's not hard at all. Some people think like, oh no, baking takes forever. It really doesn't. It's super easy, super simple, and I'm really hoping that you guys will try it. It looks yummy, Carol. You already know about the pumpkin bread. Delicious. All right, so I think we've been whipping for about 2 minutes. We can turn that down. All right. And now what I'm gonna do is add the pumpkin. Just a little at a time. This is how easy it is, y'all. Look, we're gonna add the pumpkin in. Oh, yes. Now, somebody is probably thinking, can you, instead of roasting the pumpkin, can you boil the pumpkin? Absolutely, you can. If you don't wanna roast it, just throw it in some hot water and boil it until it gets really tender. And the only thing with that, you'll have to drain it off. You'll have to squeeze the pumpkin, get rid of all the water because you don't want there to be too much water. All right, we're gonna blend some more together. Now that the pumpkin is in it, look at that, look at the color. Are you gonna, oh yes, you can try a gluten-free version, definitely. There is gluten-free flour. You can use almond flour. There's so many different alternatives today, which is truly a blessing. Unlike back in the day, we didn't have a lot of alternatives, but we do. So Carol, I'm so glad that you shared about the gluten-free version. Absolutely, sister. Truly, truly, truly a blessing for those who cannot have gluten. All right, so we blended it just a little bit. Now it's time to add some vanilla. Now, I love vanilla. I love flavoring. Y'all already know that because I added a lot of flavoring. How much vanilla do we want to use? Some people like to use a 1/2 teaspoon. I like a full teaspoon because I like the flavor of vanilla. But I'm just going to measure it out. A teaspoon, a little more because I did a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I always add a little more, but it's okay. But for the sake of the recipe, that's what we did. Now I'm gonna blend up some more just so that we can get it totally blended in here. And then before you know it, it'll be time to add the dry ingredients, the flour. And that's it. We're done. 1, 2, 3. When I tell you this is a recipe that is super easy, super delicious, you will love it. I'm telling you, no doubt about it. Look at here. All right, we want to get this going. We want to add the flour, and then we want to get it into the oven so that we can start baking it. And then I want to share with you another recipe that I have. Thumbs up, Carol. Another recipe that I have that is super fantastic. Have you ever heard of sweet potato cookies? I love sweet potato everything. On the last segment, I shared how much I love sweet potato pie and sweet potato French fries, and I could just eat a plain old sweet potato, truth be told. And so today, we're gonna make some sweet potato cookies as soon as we get this bread right in the oven. All right, now it's time to take all of our dry ingredients, and let me just pull this little piece. Got a little bit of skin from my pumpkin. You don't wanna get any skin into your mix. All right, so now it's time to pour in your flour mixture, just like that. Can you pour it all at one time? You can, but we don't want to do that. We want to be able to give it a chance to blend. Can you blend it with the mixer? Absolutely, but I like to fold it in just to make sure that it really gets in there nicely. And then I don't want to overmix it either. We don't want to overmix our batter here. All right, it's looking good. Y'all, I wish you could smell this. This smells so delicious. All right, a little more, you see that? 1, 2, and 3. And I'm really hoping that someone will try this amazing pumpkin bread. It is so delicious, and you will add it to your Thanksgiving meal or pre-Thanksgiving. Maybe in the morning for breakfast, you can make pumpkin bread and have it ready for everyone. Slice it and have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. And then this is it. That's the last bit. I tend to break it up into 3 segments. Remember, I said everything's 3 and 6. 3 and 6 for the most part when it comes to cooking. Pound cakes are a lot different. They have a lot more ingredients to it. But this little pumpkin bread, woo, super simple, super easy. Yes. All right. So I blended it pretty well. And now I'm going to use my little mixer. Do I have to? No. Do I want to? Sure. Show you just how easy it is. And not on a full speed, just on a low to medium speed, just to get it nicely blended. Look at that. How simple is that? Now, how long do we bake this bread? Well, a good 50 to an hour. So once it's in the oven, set your little timer. I do believe in timers, y'all, just to make sure that it comes out the best way that it ought to come out. All righty. I think we are done. We are done mixing over here. Check this out. Woo, it is looking pretty good. Yes, indeed. I'll put this right over here on the side. All righty. And then we're going to just scrape the edges. 1, 2, 3. Flip and dip because I want to make sure I get to the bottom so that everything is nicely blended. I've already taken the liberty of greasing my pan, all right? And if you want to grease it a little more, you can, but I like to put butter in my pan. You can also put a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick, but the butter is pretty cool. It should be fine. So let's go ahead. Let's see. It's looking pretty buttered. What you think? And you can also spray it if you want to with a nice, easy cooking spray if you don't want all the butter, but I love the butter. So I'm going to begin pouring. Watch and see. Can you see it? Not much, just enough to fill the pan halfway. Okay, look at that. Now, if I wanted 2 loaves, I would go ahead and work with the next pan, but I think I'm gonna do pumpkin muffins to go along with it, okay? So I'm gonna put a little more in here, spread it just like this, just like that. Ooh, look at that, look how easy it is. And I'm gonna show you a close-up. It is ready for the oven. 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide this in the oven. Just like that. And guess what? I have some muffin pans ready. So I'm going to fill the muffin pans with some of this pumpkin bread mix. And we're going to have pumpkin muffins in the morning. How about that? Super easy. Super easy. And we'll get with it. 1, 2, 3. Put it in. And then we're going to jump into the sweet potato cookies and see how easy that is. All right. Look at this. Woo-wee. So, what are you all cooking for Thanksgiving? Anybody? Oh, my little tin is trying to fall apart. Let's see. Hi, Cheryl. That's my cousin Cheryl from, you're in Mobile this year. Wonderful, wonderful. I know it's going to be a fabulous time. I am sitting here adding this pumpkin bread mix to the muffin tin so that we can get them in the oven. And you all can see what this pumpkin bread looks like once it's done. You know I already made one, so I can show y'all. I wouldn't let you sit here for a whole hour waiting for the bread to be done. Not at all. All right, look at that. Just take a nice little serving spoon and push your finger so that it can push the mix right off. It's super easy. Don't ever feel intimidated about baking. You can do it. It's a lot of fun, not hard at all. All right. And you see how quick that was? 1, 2, and 3. Look at that. 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna add a little more to this baby right here. Push it down just a little bit. And I still have leftovers, so I'll be having some pumpkin muffins to share with my neighbors. They are gonna love that. If y'all are in the area, come on down. I'll hook you up so that you can taste it. I can't tell you how long it'll be here, but in the next hour or so, yeah, you want to be here. Look at this. Oh my goodness. All right. So we got that going. Just gonna wipe my hands real quick. And we're gonna put this right in the oven and put on the timer. Woo-hoo. All right. Let me set my timer here for, remember I said the bread is 1 hour. Now the pumpkin muffins will take no more than like 20 minutes or so. And we'll be able to get into that. 1 hour. Come on, beep beeps. All right, there we go. All right. So I still have some leftover. I'm going to set it aside because I want to get into the sweet potato cookies, y'all. Let's get into the sweet potato cookies. So I've already taken the liberty to bake some sweet potatoes. Let me show you real quick. I'm all set. My sweet potatoes are all set. I love sweet potatoes. They are ready. And what did I do? I placed some sweet potatoes in my cute little handy dandy blender, 1, 2, 3, and I just blended it up instead of having to mash it up. And so let's see. Let me get my little bowl right here so that we can get going. How easy is it? Let me show you. I should call it a mason jar type of cookie because what I did to make it easy and to show you all just how easy it can be to whip up sweet potato cookies. I put my flour in here already. I put my sugar in here. I put my seasonings in here, cinnamon and nutmeg and all the yummy things that go into it. I wanted to show you how quick and how easy it is to do that. So hang tight and I'm gonna pull up this cookie recipe that I love to use. All right, here we go. How much flour do we need? Well, we don't need a lot. You just need 1 cup of flour, okay? And I'm trying to pull it up so that you can see just how easy it is because I like to make sure I get the right recipe for you all. All right, not even 1.5 cups of flour is in the jar. And then 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder in the jar. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, it's in the jar. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon is in here. 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and then 1/8 of cloves is right in here, along with 3/4 cup of sugar. And what else do we have? We need 1 egg, we need vanilla flavoring, and then we need 1/2 cup of melted butter, along with our sweet potatoes, just 1/2 cup of mashed sweet potatoes. So let's get into it. I already have these ingredients. 1, 2, 3, we'll knock it right on out. The oven is already preheated, so we don't have to worry about that. But in the jar, we've already mixed everything up. So I'm just gonna pour it right into our jar. And if ever you're cooking and you don't want to spend so much time doing everything all at once, you can plan ahead. You can put your little dry ingredients in a jar. You can label it, set it aside. I tend to do that when I'm making cakes. I have different mason jars and I'll put them all together, especially if I have to make many cakes, and just grab as I need it, as I've already labeled. So just a quick tip. All right, so let's get into this. So I've already poured the dry ingredients in the bowl, everything that we need, from the flour to the sugar, to the baking soda, the baking powder, the nutmeg, the cinnamon, the cloves, everything is right in here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make a little pocket. I'm just gonna push it aside just to make it a little fun here. Can you see that? I'm making a hole, making a little hole right in the middle so that I can crack my egg and put it right there. Is that all right? There we go. We just want the egg to float right in the middle there, all right? And then once we crack the egg in there, we're gonna add the remaining ingredients, like 1/2 cup of mashed sweet potato. Let's go ahead and get it. You see that? I'm just measuring out about 1/2 cup. And we're gonna add it right in here. Super simple, super easy. 1, 2, and 3. What do y'all think about this? Did you know you can make sweet potato cookies? I bet you didn't know that. Super easy. And then this 1 stick of butter is a 1/2 cup, and that's all we really need. I'm going to toss it in the microwave and let it melt, just so that we can add it to it to show you just how quick and easy it is. Let's start. There we go. And as that is melting, I'm just going to do a little bit of stirring right through here. Then add my little vanilla. Y'all remember I said a 1/2 teaspoon? I tend to just pour it in, but I'm going to add it. There we go. Woo. 1, 2, 3. We'll stir it up just a little bit. Wait for the butter. And then we'll be ready to go ahead and put it in the pan. That's all it takes. Super easy. All right, look at this. Pouring the butter right on in. Oh, yes. Oh, my. Do you see it? Now, this doesn't require using a blender. If you want to, you can. And you can get messy in your kitchen because it's your business, as my friend Tabitha would say. It's your house. Look at this. Do you see how easy it is? We just made a cookie dough with just a few ingredients. Look at that. 1, 2, and 3. And we're just going to make sure everything's blended. You don't have to super stir until tomorrow. You can just whip up a little bit, 1 stir at a time. There you have it. And I'm going to save this because I'm going to make some more. But just for the sake of showing you just how easy it is, put this top back on. I'm going to go ahead and get my baking pan, my little cookie pan. And I like to line my pan with oil because it makes for easy cleanup. All right, so we have it. Look at that. Now, if you didn't want to make the cookies right away, you don't have to. You could set this aside, put it in the refrigerator and let it chill. But this is our cookie dough mix. And it is time to add it to the sheet. I like to spray my sheet just a little bit. I don't like for things to stick. So here we go. Once again, my little serving spoon. Look at this. Just gonna push out just a little bit, like a little circle. You see that? 1, 2, 3. You can also use an ice cream scoop to do it as well. Look at that. 1. Just gonna add 6 on here just for the sake of showing you all. All righty. All right. What do y'all think about this? Are we down to try sweet potato cookies? If you want to try it, come on by. Miss Myrtle, come on down. I'll make sure you get some. I'll drop it by Tammy's house. If you want to try it, look how easy this is. Sweet potato cookies. Now, if you want to get adventurous, it all depends on what you like. If you like a nice thick cookie, leave it like this. If you want it to be a little flatter, you know, I have this tendency when I'm making chocolate chip cookies, I tend to like pat, 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 just so it can get a little flatter. But really, it'll be so good. You all will be like, oh my goodness. If you're a sweet potato fan like me, you are going to love this. So let me put it in the oven. Ooh, yes. I see the bread is rising to the top. And so there you have it. Super simple, super easy. You want to see the finished product, don't you? Well, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. I got you. So here's the finished product of the bread, because I did one earlier and it is amazing. Look, to get it out, I just tend to shake it up a little bit. All right. And I'm going to plate this right over here. Look at this. Put it right here on my plate, flip it upside down. Ooh, look how brown it is. Woohoo! There we go. Put my pan over here, put the rest of my mix here. Put this to the side, and I am going to slice and get into this thingamajiggy. I'm not going to use this knife, but I'm going to grab another. So Hang tight. I grab my little smaller knife. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see what this is looking like. Oh, yes. Slice and bake. Slice and eat. All right. Well, let me show you just how beautiful it is. Can you see it? Pumpkin bread at its finest. Look at that. Super delicious, super fantastic. And yes, I am going to try some. Woo! Mm, 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 mm. Yes, yes, and yes, it is delicious. You must try this. You must try it. Bree's Thanksgiving pumpkin bread just for you. Here you go. Come on, come on, come on. Mm, mm, mm. Some kind of delicious. Woo! So, what's on tap for Thanksgiving? A little bit of turkey, a little bit of ham. Awesome. In this kitchen, a little bit of turkey, a little bit of ham, a little bit of lamb, collard greens, green beans, corn pudding, sweet potato souffle. What else we got going on? Mac and cheese. Oh, yes, for sure enough, sure. Some cornbread, some rolls, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Thanksgiving is going to be awesome. Well, we will be celebrating 1 year of Cooking in the Kitchen with Bree on Thanksgiving morning. You do not want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I just want to thank each of you all for joining me this whole year during the pandemic. It's truly been a blessing. More to come, so you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned, tune in, and make sure to share. Share this information, all that's going on right here in this kitchen. Just take the link and share it on my YouTube page. Woo, woo, woo. Share the link from my Facebook page. Woo, woo, woo. And just enjoy being in the kitchen with your families. There's nothing better than being in the kitchen with your family. Come on back to basics. We rip, we run, we do this and we do that. But I tell you, spending time at home with your family in the kitchen, there's no greater feeling. There's no greater warmth, fun, laughs, singing and dancing like I do in the kitchen. So thank you for joining me. I'm waiting for these cookies. I really want you to see these cookies. How are they coming along? Mm, mm, mm. They're coming along, y'all. They are coming along. So let's see, Carol, Cheryl, I want to hear from you. What's going on in your kitchen? Where are you having dinner? Carol, you already told me you're making jerk chicken, so I need to come on down to Florida. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. 1 year. Woo, woo, woo. Thank you, Lord. And there's so much more to come. God is doing great things. Woo, woo, woo. So we just want to say thank you. Thank you for rolling with me, hanging with me. I tell you, God is good. He is great and greatly to be praised. Yes, indeed. Thanksgiving is a wonderful time to spend with your family, giving thanks unto the Lord. God woke you up this morning. He clothed you. He kept you. You're still here. Some people didn't make it through this pandemic, but you did. And so there is so much to thank God for. And so I thank God for each of you for joining me every first and third Saturdays here in my kitchen as I share some of my favorite recipes so that you can then try them and see just how good it is to get into the kitchen and cook with Bree. All right, well, I'm gonna give it a little more time to cook and then I'm going to show you just how awesome it is. What I think I'm going to do is once it's done, I'll take pictures, I'll post them on the pages so that you can see them, and I'll even do a video, see if I can pull my family in to have them be my taste testers. Woo, woo, woo. Well, I appreciate you all being here. We're going to take it out with this song. Y'all know I love to jam. And so we got to sing together wherever you are. Let's sing Cooking in the Kitchen with Bree. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, get the music, Bree. Let's see. Where is it? Here we go. 1 and a 2. We are cooking in the kitchen with a Bree. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, y'all. We are cooking in the kitchen with Bree. Cooking in the kitchen with Bree. Come on in my kitchen and cook with me. Cooking in the kitchen with Bree. Y'all ready to cook? Come on in the kitchen. Let's go. Cooking in the kitchen. Thank you for being here. God bless you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving day on next week. And meet me here because I will be live. Love you all. God bless you. Bye.